Hello world, this is Edward Bevilacqua from Ciao Tutti magazine, and I'm here with Donna Torito, sorry.
That's okay.
And we're here to talk about Donna's great shop, the things she's done, and the Italian culture that she's brought. But where we start, Donna, is what are your Italian roots?
My Italian roots are my dad's side of the family's from Sicily,
Okay.
and my mom is Calabrese.
Okay.
And so I started Abbiamo Tutto, which means we have everything in Italian, 15 years ago to promote Made in Italy.
Okay.
So I work with artists in designing Italian ceramics and now Italian kitchen towels.
And these come from what part of Italy?
They come mainly from Umbria and Tuscany. And so there are small families that paint the designs for me. I've taken very traditional patterns and done a twist by putting personalization with them, or they're my creations, my designs that they're creating.
So let's take a step back for a second. So you are your family, first generation, second generation, third?
My parents were born in this country.
Okay.
My grandparents immigrated.
What did your grandfather do?
My grandparents were retailers.
Let's step forward a little bit. Okay.
They owned a grocery store.
Okay.
Like in
Western Jersey?
Western PA.
Or Western Pennsylvania.
And so
Near New Jersey.
That's my mom's side, but I was born and raised in New Jersey.
Okay.
12 miles away from New York City, Bergen County.
Bergen County.
And I grew up in the house that my dad grew up in.
Wow.
A small town called Garfield, New Jersey. And they were
Okay.
both, my parents were physicians. My mother was one of 4 women in medical school.
Where?
In Pennsylvania, in Philly, where she went to Hahnemann.
Not a Jesuit.
No, not a Jesuit, not like us, Ed. I'm a graduate of the University of Scranton, and I really bring that liberal arts education to the forefront because this is my 5th career, and I'm finally doing something I love, and that is promoting Made in Italy.
Now, growing up, Sunday dinners every week?
Every week after church with pasta.
Okay.
Okay, the same thing, going to the church for spaghetti dinners, that type of thing. We always celebrated with 7 fish on Christmas Eve.
Sure.
And I continue that celebration with my family.
And you now live in?
Right outside of Washington, D.C.
Okay.
And I have 2 sons, and my husband is the first non-Italian to marry into my family.
Wow.
So it was very interesting.
But like me, your kids are half German.
That's right.
So
That's right. So we have German
engineering, and Italian design.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. They're very proud of their Italian heritage.
Mm-hmm.
Even my grandson is. So,
Okay.
Great.
So you grew up, your parents were physicians.
Right.
Your sister's a physician.
My brother's a
Your
physician.
brother's a physician. So you went the other way.
I went totally the other way, and my other sister. We went to business.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you had a good career.
I did.
You were in retailing.
Well, I started out in college administration.
Okay, that's your master's.
Right, and then went to work for a computer company when everybody was bringing in-house computer systems, and was totally bored. They were actually on Wang systems.
Wang, okay, I
That
remember
long,
Wang.
right?
I remember Wang.
Right, and so totally bored with that because the artist in me could not come out.
Got it.
And so, and it's like you have to express yourself. And
Okay, and so those days when you were selling Wang, because I was
in the 80s.
I was in a company where they bought a Wang system, and everybody before that was using Selectrix.
Yes.
So they finally said, you've got to take the Selectrix off the desk,
Correct.
otherwise they're never going to use it. Never going to learn to use it.
Correct, and I was one of those people that was going into all those offices saying, remove it, but having a fit because I'm like, all right, I'm talking to 2 people in corporate America
Right.
who really, like they were not embracing it. It's like, this is really boring.
So what brought you back to your Italian heritage and culture?
As I started this retail store, and I met this gentleman who started originally in the 80s importing ceramics from Giroud, Italy. And he took me under his wing, and I started designing for his company. And I thought, you know what? I can do this for me.
And when you say designing, doing the painting?
So doing the painting on plates
Okay.
and having them made in Italy. So I said, okay, I can do this for me. Started designing to have my own
That's a competitor.
designs. Yes, but he didn't mind. I asked him if I could go
Sure,
to the
well,
artist.
it helps. Now you have a choice. So instead of yes, no, it's this or that.
Correct.
Yeah.
And like shades of gray, shades of blue.
Okay,
Not
sure.
not like A plus B equals C.
Right.
A plus B minus can equal C.
Correct.
So there's a little flexibility. So then I started designing for my store, importing the products, and my customers liked it so much. They said, you have to sell this across the country.
Uh-huh.
So I said, okay, let's sell the store.
Okay.
And 15 years ago, I started this. Now, we've come a long way.
How many different items?
I have over 750 different SKUs in the
Wow.
collection right now. We started with 20. What we started with and what I have now is totally different.
Okay, so let's show what we're going to give the people from Ciao Tutti, people who subscribe to Ciao Tutti.
Tutti?
Let's show them what we're going to get them.
We're going to
Take this one.
Okay,
I like this one.
perfect. I know you do.
Okay, so why don't you describe this design?
Okay, this is a small square tray, holes in the back, hand formed, where they press it into a form, hand painted, hand glazed. It's been fired 3 times. And the saying is, in vino veritas, which means in wine there is truth. And so this piece was inspired by my grandparents. They had a tray like this when I was growing up in their house forever. So the nice thing is you can actually see the strokes in it. There are little imperfections because that's the beauty of each piece. They're
Now
not
this looks like where they put the prongs in the kiln for the.
to hold it up. Very
the one
good.
above.
You know what you're doing.
We used to have a kiln in my
See,
house.
great.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah,
Great.
that makes it
Right.
real and good.
Yeah.
And so what we're going to do is for people who subscribe to Ciao Tutti, they'll get one of these. It'll have the year on it, Ciao Tutti on the back, Abbiamo tutto. And we're going to do that. So are these
Perfect.
big sellers?
They're wonderful sellers.
And they can be used for what?
They can be used as a coaster. You can put them on a tray. You can use rather on a table. You can use them for paper clips. You can use them to serve food.
Coins,
Coins.
keys,
They're all lead-free.
jewelry.
FDA Prop 65. No
Okay.
problem. Jewelry, keys, coins.
And this should last, what, 10,000 years?
Should last a long, long time.
Okay.
Long, long time. It's meant to be used for a long time. And it's made out of red terracotta,
Okay.
which is very durable. All done
And
by
what color
hand.
is this blue?
That's just considered a cobalto, like a cobalt blue.
Sort of like Danish blue?
Sort of, yeah. And it depends on how much, when these are painted, they are not painted with paint. They're really painted with glazing.
Right.
So the colors come out once they're fired.
Yeah.
So if you look at this before it's glazed, this is not blue.
Right,
It's actually
it's a
a
different-
reddish color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is really beautiful. How long do you think it takes them to paint this?
Oh, this particular
Yeah.
piece, oh, it takes them probably about 5 minutes.
Okay, now
Yeah.
let's look at one of the ones.
That are more
Go
intricate?
back down.
Sure. Okay. This is a 15 by 15 inch square
Okay.
that is also hand formed and painted, and this takes them quite a lot longer to do. With Italian ceramics, it's always based on how much time the artists spend on a piece, not necessarily the size or pricing. But this is a very traditional pattern that I cannot reach called Rico Deruta. This is a variation of a traditional pattern.
Now, how do they have something next to them where they look at to do this? This is just from memory?
It's from memory,
Wow.
but they also create stencils.
So no two are the same.
No, because they're always they're like, this is totally from memory. When you do this type of work, what they'll do so they get the same idea, they'll create a stencil type of thing that's made out of wax paper with little holes.
Oh.
And they pop we have it on our website, they pop like a carbon paintbrush on it, so it makes little dots for the artist to follow so that they have some symmetry. But so that they get, every time they do, that this design is going to be in this section or this section. But it's all done by hand. They rest their hands on a board, and it takes them a long time. They're just paintings on ceramic. It's beautiful.
So everybody, gotta get back there.
Okay.
Everybody should have something like many of these in there.
Absolutely.
Everybody who's proud to be Italian, right?
Absolutely. We have to promote Made in Italy. We have to keep our ceramic heritage going. It's a dying art form. Young people are really not going into it. We need to get because it's difficult,
Sure.
because you have to be an artist.
Yeah.
And you have to appreciate it. It takes time. So
And did the Romans do anything to improve ceramics, like they made cement?
right.
Did they do anything for this?
I don't know if you talk to anybody from Umbria, they're going to let you say that the Romans did something.
Oh, it's,
So
Fair enough.
You know, it's like
Okay.
we had Etruscans going through
Sure,
and
right.
stuff. So I don't know if they'd like that too much, especially
Okay.
the guys from Guadalcanal in Umbria.
I see. Okay,
And-
it started there.
Yeah,
Everything's there.
no, we won't say that, but yeah,
Okay.
you know.
So I have one last question that all of our members want to know. Sauce or gravy?
Oh, I'm from Jersey. It's called gravy.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. It's
Donna,
been a
thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, world, for being there. And until our next interview.
Thank you.